Hi friends, welcome to Nightcap Crafts with me, Darcy, where we will have a nightcap and craft together or journal together after my kids have gone to sleep. Tonight we're having a date with Stella, and we're gonna work on a little project together. Now, I plan to do lots of different things on this channel, but tonight I thought we would do this little picture ring, as I'm deciding to call it. What happened was I had all these extra pictures that I had printed from my Canon selfie that didn't get used in my journal or whatever other projects, and I hate to have them accumulating and not being used. And I also have a ton, this is just a few, of Project Life journal cards that I do use, but they're just, you buy one kit and they just, I don't know, it lasts forever, and I don't do Project Life anymore. So I wanted a way to use these up. I had these rings laying around from a previous project, so I thought, well, there's a perfect size to put these little pictures on here. I can use up some washi and die cuts and all that, and then it will just be a fun little book, I guess. And you could even journal on the back. You can add a piece of paper or something, like I might cut down a post-it note like this or something, and then you have a little journaling spot on the back. I don't know, you could do whatever with it. So after I played with this, I thought maybe I could take it a little further and do sort of a mixed media type of thing with these, with some other kind of unloved supplies. I've got some gelatos, I've got some of these powder ink puff spritz things, I don't know. This one's Cosmo Cricket, and some Dylusion stuff. So anyway, let's just get started. I'm gonna gesso first, and while I'm doing this, I guess I'll talk a little bit about this new endeavor I'm planning on doing here. This is basic white gesso here. So I'm kind of planning to do a channel, oh, look at that. A channel here where I do all the things I would do in real life. I'm not doing anything special at this moment anyway for this channel. I'm just, these are just projects that I do on my own time. And I've been really inspired by the ladies in the Fauxbonnici Journalers group. Fauxbonnici is a type of journal, a diary that you decorate in the simplest of its terms. I'll talk more about that in a later video whenever that comes up, because I will be doing some Fauxbonnici stuff in here on this channel as well. So, oh my god, of course I just make a mess. First video, making a mess. This is a learning experience, and I thank you for hanging around and going on this journey with me. You're not gonna get professional grade anything up in here, but I do promise you probably some laughs, some good times, and this should be fun. I'm going to dry these with my little dryer, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. So these are all dry, and I will say I experimented a little bit earlier with some really light colored gelatos, and even though this is the highest opacity of gesso, you can still see some of the print underneath it, and if that bothers you, then use other products and not such light gelatos, we're gonna experiment with some darker ones here. Personally, I don't care because most of the background is going to be covered anyway, but just as a little warning, the gesso and the heating does also warp the journal cards a bit, so if you don't like that, then I suppose you could back with some cardstock or something like that to keep it a little firmer. But again, I don't care because this is just a fun whatever. It doesn't need to be perfect by any means for me. So, oh, and I will say, I tried doing some background stamping with some of the Memento Tuxedo Black dye ink, and I didn't think it would smudge on top of the gessoed background, but it does. I even heat set it, and so I don't know. Be warned. Either, you know, might have to play around with that or use something else. Anyway, so okay, let's do some more gelatos. Let's do some darker ones. I think I want to play with these, the blue and purple. And let's try it on kind of a busier background. Let me zoom in a little bit here too. Are we gonna zoom? There we go. Getting used to all this new stuff. So I appreciate your patience. Okay, I think that's good. So I thought this would be a fun time to play with these products because I've not really been a fan of the gelatos. I love their colors and I always love how it looks on other people's projects, but for me, I don't know. I'm just never really super happy with them, so they're just sitting around unloved. We're gonna have a little fun with this, and I'm not gonna think too much about it. I'm gonna spray it with some water because the gelatos are water reactive, and just see where it takes us. Let's have fun, guys. That's what it's all about, right? Ooh, rinse that off. Yeah, the darker colors definitely has a lot more coverage. We can even do a little drippy with some water here and see how that looks. That's making it really dark. We can just blot that up. This craft mat, I just got this fairly recently and it can take a beating. I really like it. I had that gesso from before dried up all over it and I spritzed it with some water and it just wiped right up pretty much. It was pretty great. So here's just kind of one beginning layer. We kind of lost some of the darker blue up there. Messy, messy. Just give it a little juicier effect. So let me dry this and I shall return. Okay, next step to experiment with here, I'm going to see if this will kind of pull up like watercolors do, where you spritz some water after your paint has dried and then you sop it up and it leaves kind of, yeah, it does. That's cool. So if you re-wet this, you're going to get some fun modeling here. I'm going to let it sit a little more before I pull up more water. Now, you might not want to get this too crazy, this crazy with something, you know, just a silly project like this. But for me, it's just more about the fun playing, and that's a big chunk of gelato on there. Getting my hands dirty. You know, just have fun with it, like I said. This does really warp this paper, and obviously makes a mess on the back. So you're definitely, if you do plan on doing any journaling, you're gonna want to back that with something, which I probably will do. So let's move on. So you get the idea. Let's move on to the next thing. That's the other thing I hate about these gelatos. Like, you get a little crumb of it somewhere, and then you're getting gelato smeared just absolutely everywhere. I don't know about these. Okay, next one. I was thinking we have these. I've only played with these once. These powder inks, I think is what you call them. And my bottles just kind of shot too much of the powder out. I thought I was squeezing so ever gently, but apparently not, because it just made a huge mess. So let's just have a little play here and see what happens together. For those of you who haven't used them, some of you have used them, I'm sure, and you're saying, Darcy, duh. But let's just play. You see here? And it has just this really cool effect. Whoa, okay. And I actually debated whether I should paint the background white for this to get some better coverage, but I opted not to, and now I see that might have been a mistake. We might be able to make it work though. Like I said earlier, it's gonna get covered with washi tape and stickers and whatever else. Let's just, yeah, and now maybe let's spray some of the blue. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I am way out of the picture there. Let me just clean up this. It looks like there's been a massacre in here. My God. Okay. I guess I don't have the gentlest hand. I kind of like that look though. It's kind of cool to just leave it super messy like that, minus this major powder blob here. That I will sop up a bit, but it's kind of neat. I kind of like that effect. I think I'm gonna keep that one as is. I'll move this one over here to let it dry so I don't have to keep pausing the camera, trying to make this seamless. We'll see how that goes. And I also don't want this video to run too long, so I'm trying to be semi-quick. The last thing we'll do is I want to do some collage-y type stuff with, let me back it out here, some pretty music note paper I had gotten in some multimedia pack thing, and some sprayed tissue paper I made, I think last summer, with these dilution sprays and some water. I was just playing around, and I just let it air dry, and I've used it in some other projects. I only have these two colors. I need to get more. I don't use them a whole lot, so I'm reluctant to spend a lot of money on things because they're not super cheap. And if I'm not using them regularly, then it's kind of hard. So I'm going to use some of this multi-medium matte gel, which is my favorite, because it doesn't dry sticky, which makes me just absolutely bonkers. This probably doesn't need to be gessoed to be doing this part, but whatever. It already is, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna lay this whole piece over the top and this music paper over the top, and I'll trim away the edges later. Try to get it on there straight. Once again, if I could be in focus in picture, that would be good. Oh God, and my blue hands. The blue hands. That's alright. Little color. Well, there's going to be the color in it anyway, so what difference does it make, really? And I think I'll tear some of these bits, and I also have these beautiful napkins, butterfly napkins at, where did I get them? Pier 1, I think. And they're just beautiful. And I think those will look really nice on here too. So why not? Use too much. So I hope you all are having a great weekend. I don't know what day this is going to get posted, but right now it's Saturday night and I couldn't be happier to spend my Saturday night doing this. Okay, I'm going to pause, dry this, cut out my butterfly, and come back. Alright, I decided to cut out extra to put on this guy here and see how that works out. Figured I might as well have all the supplies out. And this is just such a fun and easy technique because the background paper that the tissue is on, it just kind of seamlessly melts into the background and it just looks so natural on there. It's so fun. And there's so many pretty napkins out there. Like, why are we even using them to wipe our dirty mouths? Why are we not using them all for art? Okay, so this we'll let dry. Trim that up later. And I probably should have zoomed in a smidge here. You guys should be so kind. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments what I can do. I really do appreciate any feedback. Oh, see, look at that smearing. It's okay. We'll cover it. Nobody will ever know. If my audio is not great, if my camera angles are not great, if my zooming, you know, it's my first video, so cut me a little slack, yeah. It will get better. Yeah, that didn't go on how I wanted it to. Oh, no. Let's just, you know what? There's probably going to be a picture going over that. We can hide it. We can always hide it. No big deal. You can slap a picture, slap a sticker, slap some washi tape, whatever. So, that concludes the project for tonight. I think I got a lot done in about 20 minutes here. Got all these guys to show for it. I'll come back, I think maybe in another video, maybe part 2. I will show the finished product and we'll have a look-see. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun. See you later.